Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program, Capital Beat. Multiple casualties took place as a stampede broke out at the Sangam area of Maha Kumbh early Wednesday, that is 29th of January, and as crores of pilgrims jostled for space to take a holy dip on the occasion of Mauni Amavasya. Now, while the Uttar Pradesh government has remained tight-lipped about the number of casualties, President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and many union ministers, they have offered condolences. In fact, opposition has lambasted the Yogi government for mismanagement. They've blamed the VIP culture and the kind of politics which is happening on the official numbers as well, because there is nothing officially about the death toll. Now, Dainik Bhaskar has just reported that about 35 to 40 people have died. But again, there is no official confirmation. So the big questions we are asking today is that why did the stampede take place? How did it happen? Is mismanagement or the VIP culture to be blamed? And what is the kind of politics we'll see between Delhi and Lucknow now? Because Yogi and Modi posters are seen all across the Kumbh area. So will Yogi take the blame, or will the center also take the responsibility for what has happened? Joining me now is veteran journalist and author Sharat Pradhan. Thank you so much for joining. We have Sunita Aron, another veteran journalist and author, and also the consulting editor to Hindustan Times Lucknow. Thank you so much, Sunita ji, for joining. And I'll begin with Sharaji. The Charaji, what has really happened as far as the stampede is concerned? Would you say that it is because of the mismanagement? It is because of the VIP culture? We've been seeing streams of leaders hopping into Allahabad and taking a holy dip, and and also today Hema Malini was seen taking a holy dip. So what would you
Yeah.
really say? The cause
Well,
of
well, well. It
yeah.
is all very. It has been very well conveyed that this has happened largely on account of the VIP culture, which has been systematically promoted by none other than the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who at the beginning of the show was busy lambasting the all other previous Kumbh Melas, describing them as third rate, and he was out to prove that this was the best ever Kumbh Mela organized by anyone. And he had said it in as many words that earlier the Kumbh Melas there used to be stampedes, there used to be filth, and this time what you see is he wanted to say that what all had been saying made was kind of conveying the impression that this is the first time ever this Kumbh Mela is being organized. Fact remains that every Kumbh Mela is always larger and better than the previous one. But obviously, nobody expects this thing to, and this kind of thing has happened simply because of the VIP culture. Yogi Adityanath himself visited the Kumbh Mela from the time it started almost a dozen times. You see him one day, he's swaying around with Baba Ramdev. The other day, you find him taking a dip with Amit Shah, then with Mr. Rajnath Singh. And do you know that on this Mauni Amavasya, which is a day when all other previous governments used to spread the word straight that not even a minister will go there, and they were told him. I remember Mr. Narendra Tiwari's Mela, he would repeatedly sound people and his cabinet ministers not to go to the Kumbh Mela as a minister. If you want to go in your personal, you will not go in your official car and all this. Now, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, what he did, 2 days before this tragedy, Mr. Amit Shah came with his entire family, and he was there for a good 7.5 hours. He landed at 11 o'clock, which means that the administration was busy making arrangements for him from morning 9:30, and he left the place at 6:30 in the evening. All this while, entire Allahabad and the Kumbh Nagar, there was a complete jam because there was no movement traffic allowed on account of high security. With the result that people went on accumulating, and there was so much anger among people because they were not allowed to move. And this, Kumbh Mela is a place, I have covered 6 Kumbh Melas, Milu, and it is a place you cannot stop movement. If you stop movement, the moment there is any hurdle in the movement, this is bound to lead to a stampede. This something like this had happened in 1954. What Yogi refers to in 2013, when Akhilesh was the chief minister, was not a stampede in the Kumbh area. It was a stampede at the railway station because the railway people made a last minute announcement for change of platform, as a result of which people started running from one platform to the other, and therefore there was a stampede at the station, but not in the Kumbh area. There, it has never happened after 1954, but Yogi Adityanath loves to tell the world. And I am told that in this Mela, he was trying to, win some kind of an international recognition. And he was all set to, he had invited for on this day, 29th. Now, what is the big deal? And every time you have a VIP there, why should VIP? Now the circular that is issued is that on the Shahi Snans, which Mr. Yogi Adityanath has re-christianed as Amrit Snan. For centuries it was called Shahi Snan, and but now it's called, anyway, that apart. He had issued instructions on those days no VIP will come, which means that he's scared of the akhadas, because akhada people would get bugged if you started paying attention to anybody else on those days, because it is their day for the bath. Fair enough. But does that mean that on all other days you have VIPs, and that too 48 hours before the Mauni Amavasya, which draws the largest crowds? And
No,
this
no,
time,
but
according to their own estimate,
Sharaji, but how much of it is to be blamed on Yogi as well? Because he has visited Allahabad about 8 to 9 times, I believe, in the last 2 months.
yeah,
The
almost a
entire
dozen times.
administration was at his feet. The entire administration was at his feet. So, how will the officers, the Mela officers, concentrate on crowd management? How will they really take care as to what the common man is going through?
Precisely, that is what I was trying to tell you. That when Amit Shah stayed the day long and visited all the temples in the Kumbh area with his family, everything was paralyzed. Then, when he was taken to the airport, Chief Minister went to see him off at the airport at 6 o'clock. After that, Chief Minister decided to go back to the Kumbh Mela area. Now you see the entire machinery is devoted to this Amit Shah and Yogi. And now this fellow decides to go back because he had to meet some Baba in some akhada. He's busy. He's been doing his best to appease all the Babas so that he gets their support in case of any trouble that he is likely to face from Delhi. So he went back and then he returned from Allahabad at 10 o'clock in the night. So you can imagine for 12 hours, there was nothing else happening except VIPs. And during this period, common people were not allowed to move on the streets. So what will happen? This is a result of that. And that is on the 27th. And you know, for Mauni Amavasya, the crowd continues to swell, and there's a lot of people who are already there who parked themselves a day earlier. This is the chaos. And even on last night at 1:30, what happened was, I am told by eyewitnesses, journalists who were there, that there's one of the main roads is called Kali Road, Kali
Yes.
Marg,
Yeah.
and which draws it is the widest road, and that is within the Kumbh area. And normally, I remember all the Kumbh Melas, they would always have one route for one way for going, and there's a barricade in front and in the middle, and the other one for coming. This time there was a common, people were going and coming on the same track. So this was bound to happen. Nobody cared to see this. On top of that, a police officer, I don't know his name, I've seen a video, you might have already also seen it. He is busy announcing from the mic कि आप लोग जाइए, इससे ज्यादा अमृत, आपको जल्दी जाइए, नहाइए, जम
Yeah,
के
I saw the
नहाइए
video.
और अमृत मिलेगा आपको. You are misleading people. Far from telling them कि okay, go and have bath anywhere, you are telling them to go to Sangam. Why did the chief minister not announce? I remember in 2013 when Azam Khan was the head of this department handling the Kumbh Mela, the urban development department, there were messages issued by the akhada walas. The government got the akhada walas to issue the messages. You can have a bath anywhere along the bathing ghats. You will get the same punya. You will get the same amrit whether you have it at Sangam or else. That makes a difference. This is crazy. And this
Right.
government is definitely what has happened.
Right.
And another thing, let me also point my sources who happen to be there, who have visited the mortuary, they tell me that 41 postmortems have already been done, and probably
Okay.
5 or 6 more bodies were yet to be. This was at 3 o'clock. I was told this, and
Oh my
so
God.
far the chief minister is blissfully unaware, or he doesn't want to disclose. I mean, I don't know what he gains out of concealing this important fact. If people are
Absolutely. No,
dying, you can't
that's a
conceal.
significant point. That's a significant point. If Mr. Pradhan, you're saying that about by about 3 o'clock, your sources have told you that about 40 dead bodies, 40 postmortems have been done, and 41 postmortems have been done, and 4 5 are pending. That's a big news. Sunita, I'll come to you now. That it's more than 12 hours and the Yogi government is completely tight-lipped about the official toll. Now, why is there so much of reluctance and hesitation on the part of declaring the official numbers? After all, scores and scores of people who've come down to take a holy day, they must be so anxious if their entire family has not traveled back home. Just imagine what those families would be going through. And if they are not getting to hear from their loved ones, and if they have died unfortunately, what happens? I mean, what does this attitude of the Yogi government really show? I mean, are they behaving responsibly?
I think Neelu, it's a very, matlab, actually, it's very difficult to understand why they are concealing this information. And, today we have social media. There are pictures of bodies lying there on the road. Everybody is talking about it. People are talking about their family members who have died. So you can't hide. Now, whether 10 people have died or 50 people have died, the fact is, stampede happened and people have died, and especially in Kumbh. Now, Kumbh is not something closed, a small area where people assemble. It's a huge area. So there, if you have stampede, that shows that there was a clear-cut mismanagement. I think government from the very beginning was interested in creating hype. They sent ministers to different states. They sent invites to embassies. They sent invites to everybody whomsoever they could think of. They kept on telling people that this is a very auspicious time to have a dip in Sangam. So they were interested in numbers, I think. But they never thought that if we get so many numbers, which they were talking about initially, in fact, more than perhaps the country's 50% of the population which they were quoting, they were not they were not even thinking, they were not even planning that if we have so many, what is the type of arrangement that would be required. Like he mentioned about 2013, I don't know whether it was 2013 or later, but a friend of mine who had gone with a VIP said there was a separate route made for the official cars. They did not go through the crowd
Yeah.
that was there. It was a separate route. And people were so angry because every time an official vehicle, and it's not one vehicle, there is a fleet of vehicles that passed that, they just went through them and they were stopped. Now, yesterday, I think the commissioner was saying that because people got so tired walking 14 kilometers, 16 kilometers, they were diverted blindly by people. Nobody knew which way
By the
they should
police.
go, left, right. Just senselessly, the police cops told them, you go this side. And when you see only crowd, a sea of humanity, you don't know where you are going. You blindly follow, you're just blindly following the crowd, thinking that you're going. So this commissioner was announcing that there can be a stampede and people should not sleep on the roads, but they were so tired. And perhaps there is also this, what I was told, that when Nagas pass through that road, then
Route.
they pick up that mud, and after that they take. Now, government is responsible, and I think for every stampede that happens in anywhere in the country or in UP, we had again recently in Bagpat, the organizers should be held responsible. Whosoever is the organizer, but the organizers always get away. Like Hathras, we know that the organizer got away with the stamp. Now, in this case, the organizers are the government. And the chief minister for a month has been monitoring every meeting. I think every paper has run through him. He was the one who was giving directions, and the officers were implementing them. So I think the government is largely responsible for this, CM and his team. And of course, I also hold bureaucrats responsible because it is their duty to tell him that beyond this we won't be able to manage. Now the
Absolutely.
problem has spread out. It's not
Sunita, you made an important point. Sunita, you made an important point, and sorry to interrupt you here. That if you say that the bureaucrats are also responsible, should we not discuss as to why bureaucrats are so scared to tell Yogi Adityanath, or for that matter, even the center, that look, we do not have enough bandwidth to entertain all these VIP guests? What
I
stops
agree,
these
Neelu.
bureaucrats from saying this?
But Neelu, this is what I'm telling you. What they have done is, now they have said we have to contain problem in Allahabad, and Varanasi and Ayodhya. So they have now stopped. They have blocked roads. They don't imagine where the people will go. What will they do? They are stuck very badly. There must be a jam of miles and miles on the highway. They are not bothered. My problem, my little area, I should clear it of the jam, clear it of the crowd, and let me transfer it to the other side. Now, even today, I think they need to sit. They need to decide, okay, we can, this is how we can send back some of the pilgrims and then allow others.
Right. In
Because
fact,
yes,
no,
VIP
in fact,
culture is, no, one line, VIP culture, even if the ministers wanted to come, in fact, I never saw VIPs coming to Kumbh in this way. The type of hype that was created around VIPs coming and all the politicians
no,
coming.
not only are they visiting, but they are making proper reels. They
Yeah,
are
yeah,
staying
the
there.
cabinet going, the
Reels,
cabinet, this used to be
photo
a
shoot.
place for Astha, poor people coming from all over UP and country, walking their way because they believe in taking a dip there. It was not something for politicians to showcase their,
Right.
that they might. I will put it like that. They might.
Absolutely.
So I think VIP culture. There are a lot of things that are responsible, and we still have many days to go. It's high time now they sit down and decide. Okay, you stop at Kumbh. How will people leave Varanasi? You can't keep on sending your problem to another area.
No,
You
no,
have to
what I'm
find
surprised
exit.
is what I'm surprised, Sharaji, is that despite the stampede news breaking at 1:30 almost or 2:30 in the night, we had Hema Malini visiting and taking a holy dip today. What kind of lessons
Yeah.
are the VIPs also, taking from incidents like these? What could have, I mean, couldn't have people told her that, look, there is a stampede, please don't go. But something stopped her, nothing stopped her, and she still went ahead. But my point is
Yeah.
that, Sharaji, I think you'll be able to clarify if you've spoken to the people there on the ground, that is it true that the people were let inside the Kumbh area, but the exit routes were not very clear? Apparently, what I'm told is that they had closed all the exit routes. And that was also another reason why the crowds, they started swelling and surging to that level. Is that also a reason?
Yeah, of course, as I already said, because of first of all, Yogi Adityanath should have told the Home Minister that this is not the time to come 48 hours before the Mauni Amavasya, which draws the maximum crowds, and the government itself had said that that this time it would draw a crowd of 10 crores. Now, 10 crores is not a 10 crores. If you make 10 crore people stand on the entire soil of Allahabad, it would not be possible. But
No,
because
it
of the
can't.
movement, you can catch, because people continue to move. Here, when you paralyze the roads, you block the roads because of VIP security, then you are compelling them to just stick there. Now, remember, men, women, and children not able to answer the call of nature for 24 hours, they are on the road. What else do they do other than just sit in a corner? Now, they did not care to do that. And when the crisis, and Yogi Adityanath, what you said, that this happened at 1:30 in the night. Yogi Adityanath himself made a statement around 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And in that, he said, few people are injured, some of them are serious.
Yeah, and he
And
also
there is nothing, everything is
spread
normal.
rumors.
Everything is normal. Everything is
He
normal.
also
He's
he
very,
also
it's,
said that, he also said that don't spread rumors. The people who are talking
don't
about a
say.
death toll, don't spread rumors.
Yeah. For all you know, I mean, we were reporting. I was also, I did a special show in the morning to tell people what has happened, and taking the risk. Okay, I may be charged for spreading rumor that a lot of people have died, but fact remains that people have died. And having covered the Mela, and I'm knowing that area, that Sangam knows, where when the akhadas come and they charge, then you just can't be on the way. You have to be on the sides and take care of yourself. And
True, true.
now, when common people who have been waiting for a good 24 hours, what else do they do? Yogi Adityanath had the cheek to say in his bites that some people tried to jump the barricades, because of which there was a stampede in which some people got injured. This was his explanation.
Mm.
Well, what could be? And Hema Malini, nothing can be more shameful than what Hema Malini did. After knowing, obviously, she was not ignorant of the fact that there has been a stampede and people have died. She was right there. And I don't understand what kind of spirituality is this.
No, but what is more
Goes
surprising,
about there because she's a VIP.
true, but what is more surprising is that, everything is.
I tell you, yeah, no bureaucrat. What you are saying is right. That these bureaucrats posted there, they do not have the guts to do anything which they know that the chief minister is not going to like it. They don't want to be treated like, everybody knows the chief minister moods, and so they will never indulge in anything to advise, which is wrong on the part of bureaucrats. They should do it at the risk of telling him the truth. And the chief
Right.
minister, blissfully unaware, or either blissfully unaware, or knowing he thinks his word is law, and everybody
Right.
must jolly well carry it out. Do you know the meeting that was held this afternoon? I'll tell you something very significant. The meeting which was held with the top bureaucrats today in Lucknow, there he has, with great difficulty, this is inside information still not disclosed, he is agreeable to accept that 30 people have died. I was told by an insider that 30 पे settle कर रहे हैं वो. Just imagine, you are playing with the depths of people, and then you call yourself religious. This is not Hinduism. This is not Sanatan Dharma. I don't know what kind of.
This is so abominable. And what I was wanting to ask Sunitaji, and also you as well, that just a short while back, the administration was seen saying that, look, everything is under control, and now the Shahi Snan, or the Amrit Snan as they call it now, that it has begun, the akhadas have begun to take a holy dip, and then suddenly we see an ANI visual of a chopper showering petals on the sadhus and and others who are taking a dip. Now, what could be more shameful than this, Sunita, that on one side you have about 30, 40 people dying, their postmortem is being conducted, their families are crying and wailing, and on the other hand, you say that, look, everything is normal, and we are running the show as it was, showering petals. I mean,
Neelu, they are in a denial mode. In fact, they are saying when so many people assemble, there are some comments coming, when so many people assemble, a news country is there, created there on the banks, then 20-25 people can die in a stampede. In fact, from morning itself, early morning itself, whereas I think one should give credit to akhadas that they decided to defer their snan.
Absolutely.
And they played a very responsible role. And one of them was crying, literally crying. He said, I don't want to go and do it. And I think after that, the government must have persuaded them to go and take a snan, because then it would have been, in fact, it's a major day for them. They come all the way for these snans. They do. There is a reason. If something Sanatani, if you're talking about Sanatan and Sanatani, they are the people who come and they have reason. But I give them credit for deciding on not making any provocative statement. Yes, they did say the administration is responsible.
No, but when you say that the government must have asked them, Sunita ji, when you say that the government must have asked the akhadas that, no, we will take care, you please go ahead. So it is very the government gives much more weightage to the Sanatan Dharma than the lives of the people.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I'd like to point out here that the chief minister insisted that these people must have, because it was not to provide them the opportunity. It was because he wants to tell the world, look here, despite anything, I have made the bath happen. Otherwise, it would have been a blot on his. Only everything is normal. Only to do that, it is not. This shows the contempt for common people. That is why whoever said that is a mela for the VIPs is absolutely
They also started that the bathing has started.
Yeah,
Normal
yeah,
bathing
yeah.
was
extremely nice. Something to be.
started.
Yeah, no, no. But when it was Yogi Adityanath who insisted and who told his officials to ensure, and he personally talked to a lot of these akhara. No, 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 this is not for you. I don't think he's serving any other purpose
Absolutely. Now
for
I'll
his
come
own
to
sake.
that point. Right. But I'll come to that point where Akhilesh Yadav and several other opposition leaders have said that, now the Kumbh Mela should be handed over to the military. Sunita, do you think that's going to be a possibility? Will it not be a loss of esteem for Yogi if he hands it over to the military? What happens then? Is that a
Obviously not.
possibility?
This is what even the Khadas had also demanded, because they said that the
Yes.
police won't be able to do that. Police has not been able to do crowd management. They have failed in that. The administration has failed in that. They said that they'll be able to, 10 crores people are coming and will be able to manage the crowds, will be able to provide facilities. They've spent a lot of money also, but they have failed there. But if the army comes here, I doubt they can alone handle the situation, because it will take
No,
some time for them to understand the
no.
sectors, the exits, the entries. It's not going to be easy. It can be a combined effort, definitely, because the brains can be used. They're very good at it. They can plan how people have to come, how they have to leave. Their brains can be used. But single handedly, I don't think so. Army would be able to handle it.
Right. Okay.
It's
So
absolutely
towards
impractical. That's an impractical suggestion. That cannot happen.
right. Right. And Sharaji, towards the end, and that's my last question, and then we'll wind up the show,
Yeah.
that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is supposed to be visiting the Kumbh area on 5th of February, the day Delhi goes to polls. Now,
Hmm.
will this stampede deter the Prime Minister, or will he go ahead with the same program? Because there is no Shahi Snan on that day. But then the very fact that the crowds will continue to come, because you have a Basant Panchami Snan on 2nd of February,
Third,
and
3rd of
that
February. 3rd of February.
right. So will this stampede now deter Prime Minister Modi from coming to Allahabad, or he still will go ahead and with his program?
I think if he is also interested in taking advantage of this for the Delhi polling, because that photo of Modi ji taking a dip at the Sangam, proving himself to be a bigger, everybody's a race between Yogi and Modi is that who is a bigger Hindu Hirday Samrat. So in case if he is insistent, ideally a prime minister should not be doing that on that, or even it doesn't matter whether it is a key stand day or not. Even Modi, that way Amit Shah also has a ground to say, okay, I didn't go on the, I went 20 hours before that, or 30 hours before that. So
Right.
that is not the point here is one important thing which we have missed out is that Yogi Adityanath, by maintaining silence on the number of deaths, is trying to contradict the prime minister. The prime minister, the president, the vice president all have condoled the death of so many people. And here is Yogi Adityanath, who just doesn't want to admit, as Sunita rightly said, in denial mode. What is he trying to prove? What is he trying to achieve? Only God alone knows that. Because by saying this, he is coming, he's trying to prove that either the prime minister and president and vice president are
Right. So, this also brings us to the question that will Modi ask for Yogi's resignation? Because this is a good enough reason for him to be removed. Sunita, what would you really say to that?
No, before I answer this question, I think Prime Minister, if his visit doesn't have a political overtone, if it is not connected to Delhi Assembly polls, then he should at least defer his visit to Kumbh. If he can't cancel it,
yeah,
he
yes,
doesn't want to cancel
absolutely.
it, he should defer it. I think few days he should give
Yeah.
to people to recover from their loss. And this is what they'll be expecting from the Prime Minister of the country. As for the removal of the Chief Minister, I think Yogi is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and the problem is also turning bigger and bigger and bigger. So I doubt they'll remove him, because in any way, everybody was talking about Yogi's removal after Kumbh, but I
Absolutely.
doubt this guy is becoming too big. The chair is becoming too hot for anyone else to occupy it. I doubt so.
Absolutely. And let's keep the politics aside,
I,
but just few
ideally speaking, morally,
Yeah. I'm losing your audio,
No,
Sharadji.
I
Who
think he's
said
right. He's saying
a
that he
Hindu
should know the
very
moral
expect
responsibility.
them down?
Right,
But
right.
Sharad, those days of politicians owning moral responsibility for
Yeah,
deaths,
those days are
It's
gone.
gone.
they're gone.
Right,
They're gone.
absolutely. But let's keep the politics aside and just give few minutes to those families who people have who family members have died. I just imagine they had come with an aspiration that they will come and take a holy dip. They will go back with their shoulders with their head held high. That look, we attended the Kumbh, and now those unfortunate families will return with dead bodies, either of their mothers, fathers, brothers, or sisters. And here you have a government which is so reluctant on declaring the official toll. So you can imagine the apathy of the government, the apathy of the administration, and what more can we say at this juncture? Thank you so much, Sharad Pradhanji. Sunita, thank you so much for joining.
Thank
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.